I'm Claudine Wong, joining you from the San Francisco Bay Area, and I'm excited to be joined by Elena Halverson, who is a photographer in Healdsburg, California, which is in the North Bay and wine country. Good to have you here, Elena.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's talk about what we're talking about. You are a photographer by trade, have been doing this for more than a decade and a half, right?
Well, about a decade, yeah.
A decade. And so, you have these pictures that I saw, and I'm just going to go right ahead and pull some of them
Yeah.
up because they're so great. And these are what you call porch photos. I mean, we're in this world, right, where, you know, people can't go anywhere to take these pictures that they that they love.
hmm
These are ones that are really capture. Tell me about this porch project.
So a friend had mentioned to me that she knew someone who was doing this somewhere else in the country, and I thought about it for a few days, and I was like, well, I would love to do that in my town because we have such a great sense of community in our little
Mhm.
town of Healdsburg, and I just wanted something to capture what life was like during this shelter in place in Healdsburg.
And I love it because obviously the people that you took pictures of spent some time thinking about this, right? They wanted to
Yeah,
express when they will look at this picture, they don't want to say, "Oh, hey, I took this really cool picture in front of my house." They want to say, "Oh, yeah, that's exactly how life was going down, in our house."
exactly. Yes, exactly. I think that the feedback that I've gotten is that everybody is saying like, "Oh my gosh, it captures exactly the personality of our family right now."
Did you have to prep them for it? Because let me see if I can. This is your picture right now that's coming
No,
up that we're
this one's mine. Yeah.
yes. And this is what as we leave it, and I want to go back
Yeah.
to it really quickly, but as we talk about your family picture, I mean, you gave people some inspiration. Did yours first, and were you just telling people, hey, this is what my life looks like?
Yes. Yeah. So obviously the people that I've taken have done a spectrum of just showing up in their pajamas to doing like scenes. But for my family, I really wanted us to be, this is who we are right now. So and I feel like everyone who's seen this photo has kind of been
I
like, oh
love
my
it
gosh, it's
so
all of
much.
your personalities.
Well, right, you have your little one who's dressed like a butterfly because
Yes.
why not?
Because you should be all the time.
You should be. Your husband's got the great hat,
Yes,
because that goes with shorts 100%, and
totally.
that's exactly what you should be wearing. The other two, whether they're being silly, and then the art. I imagine this is shelter in place art we're looking at.
Yes, this is our shelter in place artwork. My husband put up that string so that we could um, display it and people walking by would have something nice to look at.
How long did it take you to come up with that? I did just now seeing the skateboard too that your other daughter is
Oh,
on.
I mean, really, we were just, this is actually didn't take very long. This is kind of, I said, oh, just show up. I told my kids, just do whatever you want to do. And this is what they wanted to do. And I tend to be a kind of a background person anyways. And so I was like more comfortable in the back there. And so,
Well, I love it too. I think, unfortunately, we all have more time right now than we maybe would want, and then no time at all. Like, I
right.
mean, it kind of goes
Yeah.
both ways, right? Like, I feel
Yes,
like
I would have,
I will have time to organize that closet. Wait, I don't
but you
actually
did.
have time to organize that closet
Yeah.
because, you are a perfect example. You were formerly a teacher, right?
Yes. Yes.
And now currently a co-teacher with your children's teachers.
Yes. Yes.
How's that going?
Some days are better than others. Today was definitely more difficult, but tomorrow will be a new day.
Yes. And I think that also expresses how people are feeling, in terms of how they're managing this. Do you feel like this was a good outlet for people? Like, they're all having
Yeah.
fun. You can laugh about it because there are some great things about having some family time, and there are some
Yes.
some
Yeah.
challenging
Hard things.
hard things about having this
um,
family time. This was
yeah.
art is an outlet for, I would imagine, for both you and for the families that you're doing this with.
Yes, I mean, for me, it was such a wonderful, positive way to creative outlet. Obviously, I'm not doing family photo sessions right now, so this was a great way for me to still practice my art and do something that is makes the community happy. And so, and the families that I've done, it's kind of been like, this is our highlight of the day. We've been looking forward to this all day. So,
Yeah, I'm going to pause this photo right here because
yes,
this one I think is so great. I am assuming the mom in this picture is a nurse.
yes, she's a nurse,
I think
and
I can see
actually,
the
her
RN on
yes,
her
and
tag.
actually
Yes.
her husband, he's actually a firefighter. So they're both currently,
Oh,
on the front lines of this, and
thank you to
they're,
both of them if they're watching
yeah.
this.
So
'Cause,
this was
wow.
actually taken the last day before they were starting to be on opposite shifts. So I took this right before they started, where they weren't really going to see each other again. So,
And you're taking these pictures from how far away? Because that's
oh,
part of
this
it,
one was
right?
probably like 25 feet away.
Yeah, and I like that the picture is shot in a way that you can actually see that, because that's part of it too, right? How you're able
Yes.
to take these. I mean, it's almost like you could sit in your car, right? And and
Yes.
is it challenging? Because now, I mean, this looks like a cloudy day, but the light is always
Yes.
an issue for photographers,
That
right?
has been a little bit of a challenge. I've now learned to look up people's address on Google Maps to see which way the sun will be facing, to kind of try to decide what time of day would be best to go by their house.
Yes. Well, and then you look at, I mean, each one, I like this one too, I mean, I like all of them, but this one
Yes.
is let me see if I'm not as good at trying to press pause.
Oh,
Zoom recording.
okay.
Okay, we had a little technical difficulty there, but we're going to resume our discussion. I'm not sure where it cut off before, but
Yes.
I'm going to share back to the slideshow because
Yes.
while I'm not as good at pausing that when I'm trying to pause it, um, even the tape measure there, that was a great idea.
Yes. Yes. So I really haven't given families much direction. I mean, if I kind of will pose them if they need help deciding where to sit, but besides that, I've just been kind of asking them to show up however they want to show up. So I feel like you're really getting a good representation of what their personalities are.
And when you're charging people for this, I mean, is this an income generator or is this an outlet?
No, this is more of an outlet. I I did it on a it's not definitely not an income replacement, but I did it on a sliding scale of just $0 to $25 being a max. Mainly because I didn't want anybody to not be able to have their photo taken. And
Yes.
so, and I'm actually not keeping track of who's paying. I'm just doing it like as a lump. This will, in my books, will just be front porch photos, just because I don't want anyone to feel pressure. I really want it to be accessible to the whole community.
How many people have signed up? I mean, Healdsburg, I don't know how many people live in Healdsburg off the top of my head, but it is not,
It's
let's just say
small.
it's not the big city. It is
No.
a small, it's a small town and a close community. And did a lot of people
Yes.
jump? Are you doing a handful or are you staying
Yeah.
very?
So I've done 100 so far. And then I have about, I think, 30 to 40 signed up for this weekend.
Wow. That's a lot.
So
How do you
yeah,
get through all of them? And will you just keep doing this for as long as, and how long does a sitting,
yeah,
I mean, a normal photography sitting,
yeah,
be out there for a while.
right. Yes. This doesn't take very long. It's like less than 5 minutes. You'll actually laugh because I plan out a route, and when I had originally was planning them out, I was planning too much travel time, because in Healdsburg nothing takes longer than a couple minutes to get anywhere. And so I was running early, so I realized I could actually take more in the amount of time than I was thinking I could. So they take less than 5 minutes. I just kind of, the family or a couple or resident comes out, I quickly take their picture, and then move on to the next one.
Yeah, I think, isn't it a great way though? I think photographers I know, not only is the income loss difficult, but the interaction. I mean, you have to
Yes.
like being, in people's family space and getting to know them and being a part of that, and that loss is significant.
Yes, it definitely is. I mean, especially for the type of photography that I like to strive for and achieve is like a very authentic representation of a family, a very lifestyle. So for me, that's probably one of the hardest things is photographing these children, which normally I would spend so much time getting to know them and making sure they felt comfortable, is trying to, how do I do that from 25 feet with a gigantic zoom lens on my camera? So
is it changing? I mean, you talked about how technically you've had to think about different things since you can't just adjust and move to a different light space or doing
yes.
something else. That is it maybe also challenging you in your craft and changing you when you'll come out of this as a photographer, have a different view of the things that you have done for more than a decade?
Yeah, I totally will. I definitely, it's stretching me as an artist, and um, it really is challenging me, but in all the really wonderful ways that artists like to be challenged.
Yes. I always wonder, because you're a photographer and you have children and you have a busy
Yes.
house and you are also homeschooling and online distance learning at the time, are you able to take a gazillion pictures of your family during this process and how you guys are handling it? Or are you just like the rest of us
Yeah,
trying to survive?
I am just like the rest of everybody trying to survive. You know, I'm hopeful that as we get more used to this distance learning and just the routine of our day, that I'll be able to pick up my camera more with our family. But for now, I'm just like everybody else with little iPhone videos that were pictures every once in a while.
I would bet that your iPhone videos are better than my iPhone videos and pictures. So you're still
I do know a few tricks.
Would you suggest this then to other photographers? Because it is one of those things that even if it took off, right, and people are like, I will give
Yeah,
you a gazillion dollars for that picture,
right,
you can't go anywhere else outside of Healdsburg really
right,
to do it.
right.
And so then it becomes this localized project for photographers in each one of their
Yeah,
cities. I think in my hometown, I've seen a photographer starting to do that and saying, hey, if you just frequent a local business, I will shoot a picture for you. And other
yeah,
people who are trying to do
yeah.
this, is this something that, I mean, for you, some people would say, well, it adds to an already stressful day, but is it a good release? I would imagine for you as well. And
It,
worth sharing.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I think that not only is it a great release for me and a way that I'm feeling like I'm giving back to my community, I also love that I'm documenting this time for my community. I'm planning on giving the photos. We have a small little museum here in Healdsburg, so I'm planning
Mm.
on giving the photos to the museum to archive. So um,
What a great exhibit
I
that
think,
would be, right? Especially maybe
yeah,
in 5 years when we look back at it and where we have come since then, and being able to get off our
yes,
porches since then. You
yes,
would hope,
right.
right?
Yeah, it would be nice. Yeah, I think that if another photographer feels led to do it, I think it's a great thing to do for your community, especially since you really are, you know, maintaining all of the social distancing and all those things. And I have found that it's just brought a lot of joy to families.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know any of the people really in the photos. I know you now, but
Yeah.
I've had a lot of joy just looking at them, and there is joy in this shelter in place, and I think that's what
Yes.
the families really have been able to pull out as they
Yeah.
get together. And so, really beautiful work, and I appreciate you sharing those pictures with us
Yeah.
and your
Thank you.
story. And I would love to see more porch projects in communities everywhere, because
Yeah.
everyone's handling them in their own way and very specific to their community.
Yes.
All right, Elena, thanks so much for the talk. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
And if you want more, you can go to coronavirusnow.com. Thanks so much for joining us.